Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to Reversal. Now, if you watched the Roundup this week, you would have definitely noticed that there was no Street Fighter League on there at all. Well, we looked at Street Fighter League Europe. That means we have to look at Street Fighter League US. It means we have to look at Street Fighter League Japan, and Japan's 2 days. Now, that means that the Roundup video, which is meant to be around about 12 minutes long, that's going to be like 25 minutes, and at least half of that is going to be Street Fighter 5 every week. Now, I've got no problem with that, but that's a little bit lopsided. So we thought, you know what? Europe, US, Japan, that's a lot of action. That deserves its own video. So every week, right here on Reversal, you're going to get the Street Fighter League Roundup, where we look at Europe, US, and Japan, run down all of the action, look ahead to next week's action, and keep you up to date with exactly what's going on if you miss any of it in a easily consumable bite-sized video that you can just watch in your break and keep up with Street Fighter League every week, whichever region you're following. So, let's get straight into this. We've got you right here on Reversal. It's Street Fighter League Roundup time. It's been a long time coming. That's right, we finally got our own Street Fighter League, and SFL Pro Europe kicked off last week. Some of the absolute strongest players, not only in Europe, but in the world, were representing, and we'll be seeing them over the coming months, competing for a spot with their teams at the SFL World Championships next year. We once saw 00 Nation go head-to-head with Wild Blast. One of the most long-standing teams in Europe, representing the Scandic region, went head-to-head with a mercenary team of players from all across Europe. And in the end, it was Phenom that showed his experience and managed to close it out against Takamura in Game 3. And what a way to close out the first episode with a huge result for Reason Gaming against Team GO from France. MQS with this huge result, proving that Luffy continues to have problems with fun. And with Reason in the driving seat, it was Valmaster who showed his pedigree by managing to take it to a deciding fourth and final match. Shivs came back and opted for the one-game Laura, and he got the job done as an ecstatic Reason Gaming opened out the first week of SFL Europe with a huge win.
Champion and Reason Gaming have taken their first game, an unbelievable result.
It's week 2. We've got 2 big matches lined up for you. And seeing as Street Fighter League Europe drops every Monday night, 7 PM UK time, we're going to catch up with week 2 that happened at the start of this week. And one of the fixtures of the season saw Mouse Sports go up against Team BMS with captains Problem X and Mr. Crimson, 2 of the strongest in the entire continent. In an interesting use of the home and away system, Mr. Crimson put himself forward for the second game, assuming correctly that Mouse would counter with Problem X in a preferential matchup for M. Bison, but only risking 10 points. With an unbelievable performance, it was Mr. Crimson, though, that shocked us all, closing out a 2-0 victory with some incredible predictive play, putting his team in the driving seat.
Problem's got to hold this. Oh my goodness.
But UKCPT winner and Capcom Cup qualified, the 4 Phils came in as the cleanup hitter and closed out with his Falk, defeating Killzyu for that big 20-point Game 3 and securing the victory for Mouse Sports.
Huge life lead there for 4 Phils. Can he close this out for Mouse to take it 30-10, and they're going to take it.
In match number 2, it was Team GO and 00 Nation back once again after opening up week 1. And after a floundering start, it was team captain Phenom who showed the importance of having a reliable anchor on the team, bringing his side from 20 points down to level it up 20 apiece and go into a final deciding match. Once again, showing that he refuses to be conditioned, Phenom's experience and confidence closed it out and took the 5 deciding points for 0-0 Nation as they move ahead to the top of the leaderboard.
Yo, he's got to do a stand kick. He has to do a stand kick.
I agree. Oh, why would you do that? Oh.
In Japan, their Street Fighter League season is well underway and round 5 happened this past week. Day 1 saw Roto Gaming FAV V6 Plus go up against Saishunkan Seoul, and the all-star lineup of V6 Plus FAV Roto chose to leave out Bonchan this week, with Saishunkan Seoul putting forward a strong squad that saw Shuto sitting it out despite his results against Tokido recently. Higuchi managing not to crack under pressure as his Guile fights his way out of the corner and close it out against Tokido 2-1.
Looking for that confirmed stand medium activate. He activates on block. Oh, he tried to do a run, that didn't work.
Team captain Nemo stepped up with his Urian, but Sako proved way too strong and closed it out 3-0 to take the 30-10 point victory.
Why are you throwing that's not the right choice.
In the second game of day 1, Nagoya Oja Body Star Mildon went up against the Good 8 squad, who are sitting high at the top of the leaderboard. The Good 8 squad, feeling confident, left out Gachikun this week, and Nagoya Oja Body Star put forward a very strong team. Daigo showing incredible poise to manage to come back and beat Pugera 2-1 in this uphill matchup with Guile.
Oh, the crouch is short to close it out.
And after Dogura leveled it up for the Good 8 squad, it was down to Kawano, who threw us off with his Lucia pick against Fudo's Poison in Game 3. But it proved to be genius as he absolutely dominated Fudo for a 3-0 victory and a 30-10 win overall as Good 8 squad go to the top of the leaderboard. In day 2, Team Ixa, who are cemented to the bottom of the table, went up against Shinobism Gaming. And Shinobism showed zero mercy for the struggling Team Ixa as they pulled out a huge victory from the away side. It was a bad day for the Luke haters as Fujimura opened up with a 2-0 victory.
That's it. The CA, two seal it, Fujimura.
And then Yamaguchi followed that up, beating Crusher's Birdie 2-0 also. Champion of Character Diversity and team captain Momochi closed it out 3-0 against Inaba's M. Bison, and that was a clean sweep. Not a single point, not a single battle dropped as Shinobism swept Ixa, who remain rock bottom of the league.
This will do. Oh, back throw. Hold on now. Is the sun shining on him to get the win? Inaba dash in, but the back throw immediately.
In a final game of round 5, it was Komufa Detonation against Team Gyogun, who were away, and it was another big away win. Mago with his Luke opened up with a tight win against John Takeuchi's Cody, and after Moke maintained the momentum by beating Urio's Rose 2-1, it came down to Machabo, who returned to Nakali and managed to squeeze out this 3-2 victory. Last game, last round, showing incredible foresight to bait out this reversal from Nauman's Luke and close out the victory and the clean sweep for Gyogun's 40-0.
Oh my God, Machabo.
As you can see from the leaderboard over the last 3 weeks, that top 3 has been consistent with good squads sitting high. Ixa remain rock bottom of the leaderboard, and it is all to play for as that mid-table fights for the playoff places. Street Fighter League season is well underway as we move into week 6. Day 1 kicked off with the high-flying Shinobism Gaming against the floundering all-star squad of V6 Plus FAV Roto. This time round, Sako was on the bench as Bonchan Takido and Torimeshi put themselves forward, but Yamaguchi opens up with Luke defeating Bonchan 2-0.
Move out of that.
Momochi's Cody continues Tokido's issues with the character with a 2-0 victory again.
Backs him up. Time is still winding down.
And Johnny back in the lineup with the G swept Torimeshi's Dalsim 3-0 for the victory, and you have to question that team lineup choice from FAV.
40-point ball game, ladies and gentlemen. It has been nothing but consistent W.
Into our second game, and Saishukan Seoul played against Komufa Detonation, who are the away team. And once again, they left Itazan sitting out this time round. Higuchi continued his strong streak as he managed to overcome Naoman's Luke 2-1. And then Shuto continued to show Takedo exactly how it's done by beating John Takeuchi's Cody 2-1 to take a commanding lead for the home side. But returning player Urio with his Rose managed to win 3-1 against YC Mochi to force a 20-20 tie and a tiebreaker match. And it was Urio that stepped up again. Saishukan Seoul put forward the informed Shuto with Urien, but the character matchup with Rose seemed to be uphill there as well, and Urio was able to close it out for a tense 25-20 victory for the away side.
Find a way to use it. No, sir. Urio with the movement, the big whiff punish.
Into day 2, and Good 8 squad were looking to continue their 100% win rate in the competition so far. They were the away team against Gyogun, and with Gachikun returning to the starting lineup, they put forward Kawanu, Gachikun, and Pugera. Cornerback with Colleen managed to close it out in convincing fashion against Margot's Luke. Then Gachikun pushed the Good 8 squad even further ahead by closing out against Machabo, also 2-0.
Get the follow-up at the part of the V-trigger. Gachikun locking him down. Caught him flinching.
But former Colleen main Mizua, who is now on Cody, managed to pull out the big 3-1 victory against Pugera's Balrog to level it up 20-20, and we were going to get another tiebreaker match. Mizua stayed on, and it was up to Gachikun to step up, and he managed to maintain the 100% win rate for Good 8 squad as he closed it out with a 25-20 win for the away team.
He's going to land a perfect KO. For the fadeaway EX in play.
Our final game of the round saw floundering Team Ixa with the home advantage against Nagoya Oja Body Star Mildom, who were away, and they put forward their strongest lineup again. Akira opening up with Kami, and then the duo of Fudo and Daigo waiting in the wings for the middle and anchor games. In a questionable decision which might reflect on why Ixa are in the position they are, they put forward Inaba's M. Bison as a counter to Akira's Kami. That didn't work out, and it was a 2-0 win. Fudo showed why he is one of the best in the world with this win against Storm Kubo's Alex.
We're hitting the super. Fudo's looking for it. He'll get it from that distance, from downtown, because Fudo is on fire, burning up Storm Kubo.
And then in a heartbreaking finish, Daigo closed out a 3-1 victory against Crusher, who gambled it all on this misread chip situation and closed it out 3-1 for a 40-0 defeat as Team Ixa remain rock bottom of the standings. That 40-0 win was enough to keep Oja Body Star in second place, just ahead of Shinobi's Gaming. Of course, Good 8 squad stay top of the table, and you can see Team Ixa well behind of the pack. But the big shock is that V6 plus FAV Roto Gaming squad, with so much talent in Tokido, Bonchan, Sako, floundering in 7th place, nowhere near the playoff spots. There's all to play for in the middle of the pack, though, as we look ahead to round 7. Week 7, we can look forward to Nagoya Oja Body Star Mildom going up against Gyogun in a tense match that sees the pressure on Nagoya Oja Body Star Mildom to maintain that position in the playoff race. Detonation are going to be going up against the high-flying Shinobism, who are hot on the heels of Oja Body Star Mildom, fighting it out for that second place. And then on day 2, it's going to be V6 plus FAV Roto Gaming, who desperately need the points. They're going up in a bottom of the table clash against Team Ixa. And the final match of round 7 is going to be Saishukan Seoul trying to become the first team to stop Good 8 squad's unbeatable record, the Invincibles so far. Can anyone stop them? We'll find out.
welcome back to a brand new episode of Street Fighter League. I'm not gonna lie, it's going to be tough.
Street Fighter League US continued this week, and round 2 saw Endemic versus NASA Bandits and the opening match of UIU versus the very patriotic Red Rooster team. And it was the Puerto Rican players that were the heroes of the day, as Mono opened up with a 2-1 victory with his Fang against Cien in the first game. And whilst Oil King brought it back against Smug for a deciding Game 3, there was no questions about how convincing Ajax Fidelity's victory was against UIU NL.
A 30-point team battle right there for Red Rooster.
A 3-0 victory for the Puerto Rican Ed saw Red Rooster secure their first victory and take 30 points in the process. In Game 2 of this round, all eyes were on Endemic Squad, and they unleashed the Capcom Cup champion pairing of Idom and returning NuckleDu.
To come back to like the cream of the crop.
In fact, this fixture saw 3 Capcom Cup champions in competition, and it was Mena RD who opened up with the victory for NASA Bandits.
RD is such an amazing tool.
The away team managed to secure a second win as Big Bird, also using Luke, knocked down NuckleDu's Guile in emphatic fashion with a 2-0 win. But once again proving how important it was to have strength in your anchor, Idom clutched it out 3-2 to get the reset against Angry Bird, who went for the Zeku pick. And in a surprising pick for the tiebreaker match, we saw Mena and Shine run it back once again, but the result was the same as NASA Bandits took the victory this time round with a 25-20 point victory.
Give them that full 25, but not bad from Endemic.
At the end of round 2, NASA Bandits are sitting strong on top of the league with 50 points, and Endemic, despite losing twice, still in second place with 40. The rest of the pack is going to be looking to catch up next week as they have games in hand, so expect these standings to look very different after week 3. Next week, in week 3, we can look forward to CLG and NASA Bandits swinging it out in match 1. And in a all-US clash, it's going to be Panda against Endemic in match 2.
That's rough. That being said, guys,
that's it from us. Thank you very much for joining us for our first Street Fighter League Roundup video. Let us know in the comments which region repped the most this week. What was the most exciting region for you? Was it Europe, US, or Japan? Which one was most exciting for you? And which matches are you looking forward to the most for next week's rounds? We're going to be back same time next week right here on Reversal, and if you're not following us, if you're not subscribed on the YouTube, then you're missing out. Hit that subscribe button, get a like in, get involved in the comments. We want to engage with you, and we'll see you back here next week for the Street Fighter League Roundup.